Hello everyone, welcome to Open Pepper Breeding, and we're here with a new season. Last season we grew out the F1 plants for our community project to breed some pink ahicharpitas and a pink Brazilian starfish. And so this year we're going to be growing out the F2s and making our first selections. So before we get started with the year, I wanted to give you guys a real quick tour of my repurposed breeding area. And so you can see it's got a nice little shade tunnel to acclimatize some plants and provide some nice deep shade for a few of the wild species that like that. And then we got some space for some trays, and I'll be growing a bunch of the pots, or a bunch of the plants in about 4-inch pots. And then I got space along the side there, and that'll be for cucumbers and tomatoes. And so it's the good and the bad and the ugly around here, so let's be honest. So here's some cucumbers that I brought out on a day that had 20% relative humidity, and they didn't acclimatize despite being in the shade. Lesson learned, building character. Chives from last year, they're actually doing really good. I've been using these in miso soup and a bunch of other cooking, and we got a little scape growing here, so I'll have some seeds. These are the F1s. So I needed space in my tent, and I brought them out way too early, and one of the nights got down to about 21 Fahrenheit, and despite being under cloth, they obviously froze. There are signs of life coming back if you look in here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see just the beginnings of some leaf buds forming, and so maybe about half of them will come back, and so I'll let them grow out just to see what they can do. I've got some silver queen corn being harassed by squirrels. But I think I secured my area, so I don't think the squirrels are getting in anymore. And then again, some very abused sunflowers, thanks to the squirrels. Then just a bunch of the stuff I'm working on. A bunch of peppers, early peppers coming out of acclimatization. And so I'll be either making crosses on those or evaluating them as parents, or simply multiplying seed. And then some other random stuff. My variegated paddle cactus. Some eggplants, tomatoes, some more melons in the back that are abused, and then some F1s that are coming out of overwintering, and so they're starting to look pretty nice. And these are F1s from my personal stuff, not from the community project necessarily. So that's the little breeding area. Small, fit a couple hundred small plants in there, and then we just got this chicken wire to cover up the door and keep the squirrels out. Well, try to keep the squirrels out. Real rudimentary. There you go. And then we've expanded our operations. And so it's like 20 by 25 square feet. And I'll be putting a bunch of containers out here. And so we'll do rows and rows of containers, and then maybe a couple containers around the outside as well. And that'll give me 50, 60 more 1-gallon pots. And I had some trees in the ground that got ripped out by a hurricane and left holes in my clay soil, and so I've been filling them up, making beds. And so at the back we'll have melons. I've got more silver queen corn, and I've got some beans just for my own personal consumption. So there you have it. That's where all of our plants are going to be growing this year. And yeah, in the next video I'll be giving you an update of pricking out the young F2 seedlings and then potting them up into trays, and then eventually they'll be coming out and hanging out in the shade tunnel for a week and a half or 2 weeks before they come out to full sun. And then before long we'll be looking at some beautiful fruit and evaluating them. Looking forward to that. Talk to you guys soon.